Dak Prescott had his best season in his career. And if you sit here today, he didn't win in the playoffs, and we all know he doesn't win the big game. How many quarterbacks do? How many quarterbacks do? I mean, Patrick Mahomes.
Your team.
I mean, hold on. Let me finish here. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow. I mean, everybody speaks about Justin Herbert. How great!
You can't say Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow will win a big game.
He went to a Super Bowl, did he not?
4 seed.
He went to a Super Bowl. I'm talking about taking your team when your team, your quarterback is healthy.
I apologize. I'm sorry.
All right, there you go. You pat me on the back here, please.
He's won 4 road playoff games.
Man. I'm trying to help here. I mean, Jimmy Garoppolo went to the Super Bowl 2 years. I mean, well, actually 1 year. It didn't make a sense. I mean,
Jimmy Garoppolo was essentially Mark Sanchez of his time.
I'm just saying. But what I'm saying is Justin Herbert. Everybody speaks how great of a quarterback Justin Herbert is, and what he's going to be in the future. Now that Jim Harbaugh's there, and that's great. What has Justin Herbert done? I mean, he's played in 2 playoff series, 2 playoff games, and he's failed. Okay. And that I understand it's the Chargers and whatever. Okay. They're not a winning organization. That's fine. They had Phillip Rivers there, and he's a Hall of Famer. But Dak Prescott had his best season under Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy will be there for 1 more year. And I don't think Dak is going to get an extension. He is going to ride that $59.5 million next season. And I think the Cowboys are going to ride with it. And it puts the Cowboys in salary hell, okay? It does. But what Dak did last year from the year before is he put up the numbers and he said that he was going to keep the interceptions under 10. He did. He had 9 interceptions. The year before, I think he had 14, 15 interceptions.
Lead,
So he proved that he could be an elite quarterback in this league. Now he has to prove if he can win the big game, okay? And Joe Burrow, he's won the big game. Now, he didn't go to the Super Bowl, but he won the big game. He got his team to the Super Bowl. Patrick Mahomes, we could go up and down some of the rosters and some of the quarterbacks that have made it. And Dak hasn't even gone and played in an NFC title game. So Dak wants the most money, and I think, obviously, he wants to reset the quarterback per year trend, and that's great. And I give Dak a lot of credit because he deserves what he put up this year. But CeeDee Lamb is a better player. CeeDee Lamb is 24 years old. He is a game changer. When you look at the top 4 wide receivers in the league, you can argue CeeDee Lamb is either 2, 1, or 3. That's where he is. And what he did this year, he had the best year out of any Cowboy wide receiver in history. 1,749 yards, 12 touchdowns. He broke records, reception yards for a Cowboy, which is 130. I think it was 129 or something like that. Or 120, whatever it was. Okay? It was Michael Irvin's. He broke it. And to me, that's the guy I'm looking at in the offseason. I'm paying that guy. He's 24 years old. He is going to be getting a lot of money if he goes to free agency the year after. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If they don't sign him and if they don't give him an extension in the offseason this year, he is going to be franchised the next year, and they're going to have to move him because he's not going to want to be there.
And they're going to have to get more offensive because they're going to be losing a lot of defensive players in the offseason as well. And they already lost Dan Quinn, which is already going to hurt their defense as it is. Now, Sean, I know you mentioned Mike Zimmer is definitely going to be helpful too. But
I love Zim.
Zimmer is a good defensive coordinator. Dan Quinn really transformed that defense overnight, though. So I don't know how easy it will be to get back right away, especially with the amount of.
It'll be fine.
I think it'll be fine with the amount of players they're going to lose, though. That's what more concerns me. Now they've drafted well. They've drafted some good young pass rushers. They've drafted some good young defensive linemen. But regardless, they have to make this more of an offensive.
Hold on. Zimmer, and we'll go back to Minnesota because I disagree with you. Zimmer, if you look at the guys that he had in Minnesota the last 3 years. I mean, he lost so many pieces, and Zimmer, probably glued it together and still made them one of the top 10 defenses in the league. So I disagree. They can lose a lot of players. You still have Micah Parsons there. You still have Lawrence there. You still have weapons. You still have guys that could pressure. Now, Van Der Esch, I don't know what you do with him in the offseason. He can't stay healthy. I think you let him go. I think I do believe that if you're the Cowboys and Jerry Jones, I would listen to Zimmer in the offseason. And if Zimmer likes a specific player in the first round that he could put as a linebacker that could fit in his defense, that's where I go if I was the Cowboys. I go defense, and let Zimmer be the guy, be the voice of reason with this team. Because to me, I think this team's still good enough. And I think that Zimmer could still get this team as put this team in the top 10 as far as defense is concerned, because you have weapons and you do get your cornerback, your star cornerback in the offseason.